My fiancé rejected my ring. She said it was too cheap. Please stay with me as I tell you my story. Don't forget to like, share with your family and friends, and subscribe to this channel for more stories. I was sitting on the couch, scrolling through my phone, when Amanda dropped the bomb. "Babe," she said, sliding next to me, her perfume hitting me first. "I want you to propose to me, but with something unforgettable. A ring that makes everyone jealous." I laughed at first, thinking she was joking, but she wasn't smiling. "I mean it, and I think you should use your life savings," she continued, twirling her hair like it was a casual suggestion. My chest tightened. That life savings wasn't much, just under $15,000 I'd been putting aside for years to finally start my own small business. "That's everything I've got, Amanda," I said slowly. She leaned in, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "Isn't our love worth more than any business? This is forever." Her eyes didn't blink. I felt trapped between guilt and confusion. We'd been dating for barely a year. Sure, I loved her, but enough to give up everything? I told her I'd think about it. But deep down, a knot formed in my stomach. Something about her tone, her urgency, felt wrong. And that was before I discovered the real reason behind her demand. Over the next few days, Amanda wouldn't let the ring conversation die. Every time we met, she'd drop hints showing me screenshots of dazzling diamonds, tagging me in luxury jeweler posts on Instagram, even pausing romantic movies just to point at the proposal scene. One night, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the coffee table. I swear I wasn't trying to snoop, but the preview of the message froze me. "So is he gonna buy it yet?" It was from someone named Kim. Curiosity overpowered my conscience. I opened the thread. Kim had been sending her pictures of expensive rings all week, and Amanda was replying with things like, "He's hesitating, but I'll get him there. I always do." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. Get him there. What was I, a wallet on legs? That night, I didn't bring it up. I just watched her as she smiled and planned our future, wondering how much of it was really and how much was calculated. But when I noticed the same exact $15,000 ring screenshots saved in her phone notes, the exact amount of my savings, I knew this was no coincidence. After days of thinking it over, I decided to buy her a ring. Not the $15,000 diamond she hinted at, but a beautiful, modest one that still cost me several months' salary. It was elegant, classic, the kind of ring I thought symbolized love, not just wealth. I planned a quiet dinner at her favorite restaurant. My hands were sweating the entire time, my heart pounding against my ribs. When dessert came, I slid the small velvet box across the table. Her eyes lit up for a second. She opened it, stared, and her smile froze like a photograph. "This is the ring?" she asked, her tone flat. I swallowed. "Yes, I thought it was." "It's too small," she cut in. "You know I can't wear this in front of my friends. It looks cheap." The words hung in the air like a slap. I tried to laugh it off. "It's not about the price, Amanda. It's about what it means." She closed the box and pushed it back toward me. "If you can't afford the kind of ring I deserve, maybe you're not ready to marry me." Something inside me cracked. I'd just spent nearly everything I could spare, and she dismissed it like it was a plastic toy from a vending machine. The waiter arrived to clear our plates, and she smiled at him like nothing had happened. Meanwhile, I sat there, staring at the box in my hand, wondering how the woman I thought I loved had turned into a stranger in front of me. I didn't sleep that night. Her words replayed in my head: cheap, small, not ready to marry me. The next day, I went to return the ring. The jeweler examined it carefully before processing the refund. As he printed the receipt, he leaned in slightly. "You know, she came in here last week," he said casually. My brows furrowed. "What do you mean?" She looked at the most expensive rings we had. Said her fiancé would be in soon to buy one, and she wanted to make sure he got the right style. She even pointed at a $25,000 diamond and said, "That's the one." My stomach dropped. She'd planned this. Not only that, she'd already been in the store, practically dictating what I should buy, without once considering what I could actually afford. Walking home, a storm brewed in my chest. The more I thought about it, the more the puzzle pieces started to fit. The brand name bags she suddenly had. The way she'd been flaunting dinners and vacations on her Instagram lately, ones I hadn't been a part of. That night, I confronted her. "You went to the jeweler before me. You picked out a ring that costs more than my car." She didn't flinch. "Because that's what I deserve. If you can't handle that, maybe we should rethink things." Her coldness was sharper than the rejection itself. And then, without hesitation, she added, "Besides, I already told my friends I'm getting that ring. You wouldn't want me to look like a liar, would you?" It wasn't about love. It was about image, about status, and I realized, maybe for the first time, that I wasn't the man she wanted. I was just the wallet she hoped I'd become. I couldn't let it go. Something about her sudden greed and obsession with the ring gnawed at me. This wasn't just about money. It felt personal, calculated. The next weekend, while she was out with friends, I scrolled through her tagged photos on social media. That's when I saw a picture from a luxury rooftop bar. She was laughing, holding a glass of champagne, and sitting beside a man I'd never seen before. He wasn't tagged, but I recognized the logo on his shirt. It was from an exclusive country club where annual membership costs more than my rent for a year. I zoomed in on the table. There was the exact dime and ring she'd shown the jeweler. Only it wasn't on her finger. It was in a small, black velvet box in front of him. My chest tightened. Was she playing me to get the ring she really wanted from someone else? Or was she setting me up in some twisted competition? I needed answers. That night, I asked her directly, "Who's the guy in the photo?" She didn't even try to hide it. "He's a friend. He knows quality when he sees it. He agrees with me that a woman like me deserves nothing less than the best." Her voice was smug, and it made my blood boil. "So what am I to you? A backup plan?" I asked. She shrugged. "Think of it as motivation. If you can't give me what I want, someone else will." It hit me then, this wasn't just infidelity of the heart. This was a game, a dangerous one. And I was the fool who'd been playing without knowing the rules. I didn't sleep that night, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment we'd shared. The way she'd looked at me in the beginning, the promises she'd made, the way she'd laughed at my dreams, it all seemed staged now. By morning, my anger had crystallized into something sharper: resolve. If she wanted to play games, I was going to change the rules. I started by visiting the jewelry store again. I spoke with the jeweler, pretending to still be interested in the expensive dime and she had chosen. Then I made a mistake. I mentioned her full name, said she was engaged to me. The jeweler's brows furrowed. "She's been here before," he said carefully, "but not just with you." Bingo! I left the store with my heart pounding and a plan forming. I began collecting evidence, screenshots of her text demanding the expensive ring, the photo of her with the country club guy, even receipts of the modest string I'd already bought. If she wanted to humiliate me, I'd make sure the truth came out first. That evening, I called her and told her I was ready to talk about the ring. She arrived dressed to kill, her perfume filling my apartment before she even spoke. "Well," she said, sitting like a queen waiting for tribute. I slid a small velvet box across the table. But it wasn't the cheap ring or the expensive dime, and she wanted it was empty. Her smirk faltered. "I know about him," I said, my voice calm but ice cold. "And I know about your little game. This ends tonight." She went pale. For the first time since I'd met her, she looked genuinely afraid. Her eyes darted toward the empty box, then back to me. For a second, I thought she might apologize, explain herself, or even break down crying. Instead, she leaned back in the chair and crossed her arms, her voice suddenly cold and sharp. "So you're spying on me now? Going through my life like a detective? That's pathetic." I almost laughed. The audacity was unbelievable. "You wanted my life savings for a ring, then flirted with another man. That's not spying, that's protecting myself." She smirked. "Oh, please. No one will believe you. I'll just tell everyone you're broken bitter, and that you made up these stories because you couldn't afford a decent engagement ring. Who do you think people will believe? Me or you?" It hit me like a punch. She wasn't just greedy. She was calculating. She already knew how to twist this to make me look like the villain. "Go ahead," I said slowly. "But remember, I have proof. Screenshots, receipts, photos." Her smirk faded for half a beat, then returned. "You think that will save you? I've ruined men with less evidence against me. One word from me, and your reputation is gone. I can make you lose your job, your friends, everything." There was no mistaking it now. This wasn't love gone wrong. This was war. She stood, grabbed her bag, and headed for the door. But before leaving, she turned and whispered, "You'll regret crossing me." The slam of the door echoed in my apartment. My hands trembled, not with fear, but with a dangerous mix of adrenaline and rage. She wanted a fight. I was ready to give her one. The next morning, I woke up with one thought in my head. I wasn't going to let her walk away painting me as the villain. She had played this game before, probably with men who folded under her pressure. But I wasn't going to be one of them. I spent hours combing through every screenshot, every text message, every bank transfer. There it was, the proof of her manipulation in black and white. Her messages asking me to empty my account for our future. The flirty exchanges with the mystery man. Even her own words mocking the cheap ring. I sent a single text to her: "We need to talk before things go public." No reply. By noon, I decided to take it a step further. I reached out to a mutual friend, someone I knew she trusted, but who also respected me. I didn't give them the whole story, just enough for them to know that if she started spreading lies, the truth would be ugly. Then I drafted a carefully worded post for social media. Nothing direct, just a subtle warning. Some people think love is about how much you can take from someone, not how much you can give. To those people, your time is coming. It didn't take long for her to call. Her voice was sharp, but I could hear the tremor under it. "Delete that post. Now." "Why?" I asked. "Afraid people will start connecting the dots." "This isn't over," she hissed. "You're right," I said. "It's just beginning." And this time I wasn't bluffing. That night, I put my plan into motion. I wasn't out for revenge just to feel better. I wanted the truth to be undeniable. I organized the screenshots, the receipts, the timestamps into one neat, irrefutable file. Every word she'd said to convince me to drain my savings. Every degrading comment about the cheap ring. Every flirtatious exchange with the man I now knew was her ex, the one she had been seeing the whole time. Then I sent it anonymously. Not to her, not to her friends, to her family. An hour later, my phone exploded with calls and messages from unknown numbers. I didn't answer any of them, but I knew the storm had landed when I got a short, panicked text from her. "What have you done?" By morning, the whispers had spread. Friends she hadn't spoken to in months suddenly unfriended her. The mysterious man she had been flirting with blocked her on everything. Even her own sister, who had once defended her blindly, posted something cryptic about fake people being exposed. She showed up at my apartment that evening. Gone was the confident, demanding woman who had ordered me to buy her an expensive ring. In her place was someone pale, trembling, and desperate. "You ruined me," she whispered, her voice cracking. No, I said, meeting her eyes without flinching. You ruined yourself. I just held up the mirror. For a long moment, she just stared at me, her hands shaking. Then she turned and walked away. I didn't know if I'd ever see her again, but if I did, I knew she'd think twice before trying to destroy someone else. I thought it was over. I thought I had cut the last thread connecting me to her and the mess she had created. But life has a way of showing you that sometimes the knife in your back isn't held by just one hand. A week after our last encounter, I got a call from a blocked number. Normally I wouldn't pick up, but something in me, something restless as, made me swipe the green button. A man's voice came through deep, deliberate, and unsettling like So you finally took her down, he said. Who is this? I demanded. Let's just say, he continued. Ignoring my question, you exposed the wrong person first. She was never the real mastermind. My chest tightened. What are you talking about? That expensive ring she demanded? That wasn't her idea. The constant pushing for you to empty your savings? She was following instructions. Someone close to you wanted to see how far you'd go for Lovewood and how much you'd lose. I froze, my mind racing through every face in my life. Who? I whispered. There was a pause. Then, with a smirk in his tone, he said, check your best friend's messages from last year. The line went dead. My hand shook as I scrolled through my old chats with Mark, my best friend since childhood. Buried in months-old texts, I found the proof, subtle hints. Inside jokes with her name, and a voice note where he admitted he couldn't wait to see me broken, humbled. The realization hit me like a blow. The betrayal wasn't just from the woman I thought I loved, it came from the man I thought I could trust with my life. I sat there, staring at the screen, my heart pounding. This wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of a much darker game. Please like, share with your family and friends, and subscribe to our channel for more stories and